Basically, the concept of it is water meters. They are measurement instruments. Their main goal out there is to give us some idea of force. We always hear about weight and energy being applied to a surface. So we've got force measurements out there, sound, of course, in decibels, seismic, of course, in our good world of, or unfortunate world of earthquakes when it comes on down to the fact of that matter. And of course, electrical power, which is something that we won't be discussing in this particular seminar, but we do have it in an upcoming one, where we'll be getting into electrical meters and a few other ones. So as you can see across the bottom of the screen here, we've got a varied array of all different types of sensors and meters. The thing about moisture meters is none actually measure actual moisture content. They all use a measurement that basically allows them to interpret these readings and display to you a moisture measurement concept. So that's the thing to remember. None of these meters actually measure the water that we're chasing. As you can see on the screen, non-invasive basically are what we're known as our scanning meters. These are meters that will be placed on the surface and do not penetrate. They're typically looking at density of materials. So follow the concept very quickly. If you have a material that is porous, such as drywall, timber framing, and our most common building materials, all of our porous or hygroscopic materials, they have a certain density when they're at normal equilibrium moisture content. That density is basically primarily air in those pockets, in those pores in the material. That density, of course, changes when those materials pockets, instead of being filled with air, are filled with water. Obviously, water being more dense than air makes the material being more dense. Consequently, non-invasive meters read on a basis typically of density, and the more dense a material is, the more wet it will read, so to speak. So this is why things like gypsum drywall in its normal state will read one density, and then if we actually walk on over to a firewall, which is fire rated gypsum wallboard, it is a higher density. So neither of the materials are wet. They're both at equilibrium in their environment, and the fire rock will definitely show an increase in density. So it will read more wet. Always keep these things in mind as you're using scanning meters.